Hi everyone, welcome to Watch It Played. My name is Rodney Smith. In the future, I'll be doing a full how to play video for the upcoming Forbidden Stars from Fantasy Flight games. And you might have seen the quick sample video I shot of a demo I was taking at Gamma. If you didn't, I'll put a link to that in the description of this video if you'd like to check that out. But here, I just want to give you a quick tour of what comes in the box and discuss with you some of the gameplay elements. You can see this is a big box, and there's a lot of contents here. I won't be going over all of it in detail, but again, keep an eye out for that in the future. The game takes place in the Warhammer 40,000 universe, where 2 to 4 players are going to be building up their forces and then clashing over a cluster of planets. You will control one of the factions included in the game, either the Ultramarines chapter of Space Marines, the Eldar of Craftworld Lyandon, the Evil Sons Orc Clan, or the World Eaters Warband of the Chaos Space Marines. The field of engagement will be formed by the players from 12 unique double-sided tiles. This means that no 2 layouts need to ever be the same. As you place regions down, you'll be able to set up your home base installation, as well as dictate the location of your opponent's objectives. The game is either played over 8 rounds, or until a single faction has completed a certain number of objectives based on the number of players. So where you put an opponent's objectives will factor into the decision-making during the setup. Warp gates are also placed and will block travel between tiles, and these unpredictable elements will shift during gameplay, fencing in or suddenly opening up pathways to previously unreachable areas. As mentioned, each player will control a faction, and this will provide them with a player sheet to track all of the units in their army. You'll notice the troops across the 4 factions have unique stats, as each faction in the game is quite different than the others. You'll also notice this with each player having their own starting deck of cards. These will be used in battle, but you are not limited to what you begin with. Over the course of the game, you'll be giving your forces orders, and you may choose to spend some of those to upgrade these from a unique pool of cards specific to your faction, giving you more and better options in future battles. Each faction also has a unique deck that can trigger schemes and events that will occur. Of course, the game comes with a variety of tokens for tracking elements of the gameplay, and of particular interest are the orders. Each faction will have the same 4: deploy, strategize, dominate, and advance. And you'll have 2 copies of each, so 8 in total. During a round, you and your opponents will take turns choosing and placing one of these at a time to place face down in a sector, until each player has played 4 orders. Orders are then resolved from the top of the stack down. So you will give some consideration not just to what you place, but when you place it, as your plans may be foiled by players who see you focusing on a particular sector. Or maybe you're just leading them to believe you're up to something there, when your attention is primarily going to be focused somewhere else. So one thing I've highlighted is this distinction between the various forces, but it's also represented visually in the over 100 miniatures that come with the game. Each faction has its own unique sets, and you'll see the attention to detail found on them as we continue. Perhaps the most important thing from this is that with such a large variety of different units, it also means you'll be able to pursue different ways of building your armies each time you play. These models will clash in combat, which is resolved based on a variety of factors. First, each unit in the engagement will provide you with a certain number of dice to roll. They can sustain a certain number of wounds and provide a morale value. Bolters you roll are attacks, which are blocked by the shields your opponent rolls, and morale is vital to claiming victory in the battle. However, the dice are just the first part of combat. From the deck of cards you saw earlier, you will draw 5, and now back and forth the players will choose 3 of these to play, which will add additional symbols to the conflict and special abilities that can be triggered to sway the battle in your favor. Ultimately, you're trying to destroy and remove your opponent's forces, but having fewer forces with higher morale can still win you the day. Win battles for locations where you have objective tokens, and you'll inch closer to victory. At the end of 8 rounds, if a player has not gained all of the objectives required to win, then the player who has the most is declared the winner. This again was just a brief overview of Forbidden Stars, but if you have any general questions about the game, feel free to put them in the comments below and I'll gladly answer them as soon as I get a chance. And stick around, because in future episodes we're going to take a much more detailed look at how to play this game fully. But until the next episode, thanks for watching.